Hello, everybody, and welcome. Here we are. I'm going to move this up a little bit forward. Yes, this is working. Okay. Here we are coming into being. So, welcome. And take a deep breath in right now. First thing, before we do anything else, go rambling on about anything else. Just take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Hold it. See how long you can hold it for. And then release it out slowly through your mouth, making a soft sound. Just letting your system know. Hey, Carolina, jumping right in. Oh boy, connection. Yeah, we might just had a little blip connection there, but hopefully we'll be fine. So releasing it out with a soft sound. So you let your system know, your nervous system, your brain, your survival mechanism saying, it's okay, we're safe here. We can chill, we can slow down. So just like that. Doesn't have to, it's not real loud, it's soft, it's like that kind of little sigh. Grab your glass, yourself some water or tea, and let's just have a chill time. So it's coming up to just kind of say why do this? Why do we do this? And the biggest why is because it's about taking that time for ourselves and just coming into that state of being. There's so much out there that is about doing. And even when you're listening to great podcasts, that's still this place of doing. It's doing with something to the external. But when we come into just that place of being, just sit with ourselves, we really come into just being with ourselves. Earlier today, I was out on a hike with a friend, and she asked me if I knew about what circling was. And I'm like, no. And so she explained to me that I guess it's this new concept in meditation where people sit in a group and then they get kind of prompted to pay attention to certain things. And of course, I'm just going by what she's describing to me, but it's indicating to me that people have lost that sense to connect with others, to be in connection with others, just to be around other people and just hang out without devices. And if we don't know how to connect with other people, we have to take that one step back because we don't know how to connect with ourselves. And just think for a moment, how often do you take that time? And Joni, hello. That time, let me send out my little message here too, to just sit and be with yourself. Nothing else. No devices, no TV, no people coming in and out that you're paying attention to, just yourself with whatever is going on for you. We just don't take that time. And, part of it is just devices have come into play so much into play for our lives that we've just stepped back from that. Like you think of like people sitting out on the porch and just sitting there. How many people do that anymore? So it's not that nobody does it, but it's not the norm anymore. And it's just taking that time to just be in the moment with nothing. Sydney, hello, Sydney. Hey, you're with Rosie the cat again. Great. Like Rosie, very good. What about the sheep? So let's take a deep breath into that. So the why is to provide that space, because when you connect to yourself, when you really connect and are aware of what's going on for yourself, things can start to unwind, holding patterns that take us in all sorts of directions. being embedded with other people's frequencies, being pushed into by a lot of external stuff that's going on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That stuff will start to unwind because you start to be aware of it instead of just running around and running ahead of time. Sheep have been giving snacks. Good. Chickens are allowed to be free ranging today, so they're very happy. Oh, that's great. And Wisdom Hi All from Wisdom Happy. And so if you're stopping by YouTube, feel free to say hi on the chat and be a more active participant. It's okay if you sit in the back, but you can also just say hello in the chat and be more in the front row. So that's the why. You know, it's there's so many fantastic podcasts out there and things that we can listen to and activities we can do, but coming into the moment, whatever you want to call it. You can call it meditation if you want. You can just calling it chill time, just like sitting back and listening to the rain and letting yourself be in that place of just being with what is. So let's take that chill time. All right, so deep breath in, hold it at the top for just a couple counts, and then exhale completely. Everything out of your lungs, completely push it out. Just really squeeze that air out until you get to the bottom and you breathe it back in. And then let yourself go into just a regular breath. And just being aware of the breath. Being aware of yourself in this moment and just breathing. Let's track that. Just stay with yourself with that breath. Feels like nothing is happening, but a lot is going on. And it's a question of catching that, becoming aware of that. And you have to be aware over time, over an unfoldment. So we're not talking about a split second moment. We're talking about this ever eternal present moment that is always unfolding in each moment, going to the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. We're not talking about going into the future there. We're talking about just each moment as it shows up, being there, being present. And just using the breath to give this part of ourselves, this brain processing center, and that identity that gets caught up in the mental, in the mind, to focus on something. It's like, here's your job. Do this job right now because it's important. Let's see what happens. We're tracking this. So just kind of pay attention to the breath. And start to notice what unwinds, what starts to show up. And whatever shows up is okay. It's not about not having anything show up. It's just about allowing that unwinding process to happen so you can settle in more with yourself. Notice the little runaround that's just kind of hovering in the background, or just like kind of at the top there. Notice any emotional stuff. Notice energetic stuff that's going on around you. Suddenly you slow down, you become aware of your breath. Pull yourself into your body, becoming like really aware of being inside of you. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what is this shit over here? Or you've been noticing this ping, that you've been kind of ignoring, this maybe ache in the shoulder, and then you pull in with and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's something right there that's hooked into me. I'm going to take you a little deeper on this breath noticing, but let's stay with just the regular breath, just noticing it go in and out. Letting yourself just settle into your body. With every exhale, just kind of feel yourself melting down. And already you guys have just just released like a layer of dust. Let's just going to call it that way because it's basically how it's looking. It's this layer of dust from just everyday stuff that you've been around, that you've picked up along the way so far in your day, even if it's like in the morning. Maybe it's coming through at night, clearing stuff at night. It's really early morning for you as well. There we go. Okay, so let's take this a step deeper. Feel your body, feel your skin. Just come into being aware of your skin, whole body. So it's like you're inside this little balloon, human-shaped body balloon. Close your eyes if you want for this. Now with the breath, as you breathe, allow yourself to become aware of your whole body breathing. Like your whole body, not just your rib cage, is expanding and contracting with the breath. And let's stay with this one for a moment. And if anything comes up that you become aware of, whether it's energetic, emotional, mental, physical, just notice that and just kind of keep the main focus of your awareness on that whole body breathing in and out. And letting yourself settle into that quiet. And the quiet is not about if there's sounds in your environment or not. The quiet is this place inside that starts to generate really from inside, but also, that you start experiencing all around you, because as we sit in that just simple awareness of self, of the moment, and so that expansion, becoming aware of your whole body breathing, expanding and contracting with the breath, slows everything down, slows down those brain waves, takes us into a deeper state, not just within ourselves, but a deeper state of existence. And it starts to expand out. Kind of takes you into being present with yourself and then connected with this deep space of existence beyond, just it's like below the physical level. And we seem to be having a little bit of a problem with the internet. Oops. So YouTube, oh shoot. Having a little problem with the internet here on YouTube. Hopefully we'll be back. No. So just breathing in and staying in that expansion of the breath. We're kind of zapped off online there. YouTube specifically, it looked like, but just keep focusing on that breath, whatever happens, because it's that place everybody wants to go to, is we want to get out of that surface stuff. We want to get into that calm, but we're doing it through the surface level. We need to come into ourselves. So that awareness, so using just that mechanism to get the mind focused in a way that's useful to what we're doing. Yeah, okay, good. Stable for me. As on my end has given me that signal. Allows us to come more into this moment and hit that wave that's below the surface. Everything you need for yourself is there. The problem, the difficulty with that statement is everything that's going on in here about that. We want it now. We want it immediately. We want it to show up a certain way. We want it to be a certain thing. We want to have it come from a certain place. It won't come unless you're in here. Or let me correct that. Let me expand on that. It's partially correct. Partially because what's in here, what are all those layers that you have to go through to really get into the depth here, is what's causing that windy, convoluted way for something to get to you maybe 20 years down the line, instead of the most appropriate moment for you. Most appropriate moment. Now we're getting caught up in this thing because most appropriate moment, people could argue it's like, well, if it's coming down 20, that's the most appropriate moment. Yeah, only because it had to wind itself through so much stuff that we can carry around us. That, yeah, the time it takes, but it doesn't have to go through that. We need to be willing to just come and sit with whatever's going on for ourselves. Pain, suffering, disease, emotional instability, upset, mental runaround, whatever is going on for us. And come to that place where we're holding strongly in that just connecting to self and just holding that space for ourselves. So let's take a nice deep breath in, hold it at the top, and just exhale everything out along with the breath. Come back into relaxing into the body, your body. And so that gets really hard because people can have a lot of pain or a lot of, and the pain can be physical, but it can also be emotional, mental, even if it's just appearing as physical pain. Sinking into that. Yeah. And the torment that we can carry, that people can carry. When we come into that stillness and to just sitting down and being just without moving. Might be moving around like crazy up in here, or even in here in emotions. It might be just going all over the place. But sitting there, not doing anything about it. Not doing, just being. And it's coming through. There's a lot of turmoil going on for somebody. And just being present with that. Because what happens is as soon as you start moving into doing anything, you're allowing that thing that you're doing about to dominate you. And right here, right now, with what we're doing here, the reason for why of showing up here today and being part of this, or for me doing this, is about saying, no, I'm first. Right now, it's me first. And me in the sense of, when I say you, when I'm talking me, when I'm talking about you, I'm talking about the deepest, purest aspect of your being that you have to reach to and hold on to and saying, no, this comes first. And it's going to be challenging in different ways. And a really hard challenge to deal with is everything that comes up through that mental processing center, through our awareness. It's about nope, nope, nope. Coming back to that self. coming back to that awareness. I'm going to plant a seed here for you. Coming back to that awareness of the light of your essence that is in every cell of your body. And when you become aware of that, the more you can have that glowing image of yourself, your body, and hold that. Something wants to come in. It's like, you see it come in, it's like, no. And it's mental fortitude. There's no way around it. Okay, let's take a deep breath into that. Hold it, and then this time just drop. As you exhale, drop all the way down. Let yourself connect into the core of the earth. And the new earth grid, the new earth. Ha! And keep focusing on being connected to the new earth grid. Oh. Yeah, interesting, nice little shift there. And somebody who is not showing themselves on, but is on the call is having a lot of resistance. You've got identities that are keeping you from connecting to the, just even connecting to the earth, and it going into this very dramatic act. Drama queen act. And, just that drama. So notice that for yourself and anybody else. Anything that you notice, it's like you start having this, and you feel like it's you. I totally get that. Well, this is me. Guess what? It's not. It's not you. Coming in, so just focusing. It's like, okay, and if it feels like you, it's like, okay, let's just put this aside for a moment and let's just drop in, connect to the core of the earth. We'll come back later. Don't worry. You can literally talk to it as if you're talking to another person. We'll come back later. Just hang out here for a minute. Let me connect into the core of the earth. Wow. Guys, we don't have one personality. We have multiple personalities. Everybody's got multiple personalities. Another word for personalities is identity. Yeah, multiple identities for every, and you can consider that for every experience that you've had, no matter how small, you have an identity linked to that experience. So again, there's somebody who's got a lot of that coming up. Good for you for being here, because it's really bringing it to the surface. So pay attention to that. And for everybody else, most of you have been on for a while. Just notice those little things that keep coming up, or that are just showing up now. Yeah. Caroline, you've got, it feels like there's something like solar plexus that just started popping up for you. And so if I call somebody else's name and you happen to know them, because it just had a reaction here from somebody, it's like, see if that applies to you, or see what that triggered in you. And it's not about putting people on the spot here. It is, but it's about putting that part of you on the spot that needs to be on the spot so that you can just say, okay, no, yeah, we're done with that little game because it's not helpful for me to really step into all of who I am, my full potential, becoming more of that expression of my timeless essence, because that's what you're here for. You could call it potential also. It's here to express your highest potential. That works better for you. To live from that higher consciousness, that higher state of being in everything that you do and are. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Coming back to, at least in the words that I'm saying, back to that new earth grid. Sinking into that. Yeah, that feels nice. Jody, when I said that, you said it's like, oh, good, let's get back there. Yeah. Sometimes we have to just talk about this other stuff that's kind of just there because it's also keeping us from, there we go, going back deeper in. Yeah, everybody's kind of going, oh, like it's a relief for, yes, this is the place we like to go, isn't it? That new earth grid. Yeah. And here in this connection, in this space of that new earth, breathe into whatever's just coming up and then exhale it and just releasing it out the breath, with every breath or every other breath or however you want to do it. Or you could take deep breath in, hold it, and then release it out with a deeper sound. Yeah. And just allowing the heaviness, and it might not feel heavy, but all that stuff that is not your pure essence, your pure light, your pure being, to just like take that weight, let it drop. Hilaria, hi. Good to see you. So very good. Just kind of sit and chill in space. I don't know how long you've been on there, but just in that space of connecting with the core of the earth. Yeah. So I'm just going to read Ilaria's comment because coming back to a lot of what we've been talking about here is thanks for this peaceful space. I've been navigating difficult and tormented life review to the point that it has brought up a lot of drama within me, negative thoughts, scenarios. Okay. So yeah, so a lot, basically right on target for today. So good to, and you've been popping it in my mind today and even yesterday also. So what we've been talking about, and so very precisely, we notice this coming up. So here, negative thoughts, scenarios, all this and we have to, and sometimes, so you're obviously going through that place. It's like this fighting against this and saying, no, and holding that, coming back to that holding, trying to focus on my heart, sternum, gut area, and speaking to my inner child in order to better understand the symptoms and the feelings. And that stem from the symptoms. And then we get to a point, you can do that for a while, but then sometimes you get to a point where you've done it so much. And I know you've been working on all this stuff for a long time, and you just say, no more. Because it starts to, it can really get into a place where we're just recreating. And so all this stuff, at first it works really great. You feel like you're moving forward, and then there's this mechanism inside of us. It's like, let's bring it back up. And also, this week I think is pretty potent, but all of March is pretty potent here for really disengaging, for really disengaging fully from the old. That this stuff is actually just coming up to hold you back. It's just coming up to just like, let's stay over here in this stuff that we've been sitting here in this box. We're not going to break out of this box. And with all that, no. So some of you know this, and I've shared that with some of you, but when that focus is so difficult, I know what you're going through. We all go through that. I'll go through this place where it's like, it just keeps coming up. Keep your mind anchored on something that helps to break that. Present moment, physical environment, and you might be able to feel yourself. I can feel myself. It's very interesting because it's like I'm not that far off my body, but I'm outside my body. So all of a sudden it's like I notice that I've started to float out here thinking about something. It's like, no, come back into here. Focus on what is right in front of me. And also this little key phrase that's been given to me. How do I connect with pure source even more strongly now? Power of focusing, yeah. And so the question's now doing it, because we can read about it and get good ideas, but then the doing can be very challenging. So I'm sure right now it's very challenging for you. And just being there and saying, and if you have to repeat that phrase literally over and over and over and over and over again, you get to the end of the sentence, you say it all over again. I mean, I've done that. And focusing, it's like noticing, it's like, whoa, my mind is over here. No, it's got to be coming in here, in my physical body, in my physical environment, right here, right now, what's right in front of me. And sometimes it's extremely difficult, and you have to, it's like I have done this where I'm starting to literally say it out loud what I'm doing. It's like, okay, I'm cutting this carrot. This carrot's feeling like this because there's so much effort, and the effort is at the energetic level. It's at the pain body level where it's just trying to like the habit of your brain always like, let's go focus on this, let's go focus on this. Neurological pathways are killers, and you have to just, it starts going down that direction, you have to pull yourself out of that. So yeah, deep breath in, everybody. Yeah, focusing on the core of the earth. Yeah, dropping down. And we have to go through a lot of things. Sometimes you have to go to that place where you say, fuck you, fuck no, you got to draw the line. It's not about being nice. It's about being as definitive, whatever it takes for you to be definitive, to say, boom, the line is here. And anytime there's a little toe that crosses over, bang, no, that toe gets cut off. I'm sorry. Not going to be nice. There's a lot of games that start getting played around with this stuff. You will have people show up that you have said no to before, and you have drawn that line before, and all of a sudden they're showing up again. It's like, come on, please. It's like, no. No is no. Deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Let's hold this one. Take another breath in if you need to. Hold it at the top. Hold it. It's like your way of saying no. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then exhale. Exhale all the way out. I'll read her comment in a minute. Exhale all the way out. Keep squeezing that breath in. Say no, no, no. We're going to squeeze it all out until you just, your body kicks in. So it's the physical body, not the pain body or anything. Says, yes, I feel like I'm at a breaking point and my pain body is screaming, no, danger zone, sabotaging me. Yes, right. And so it's like there are those moments where you just have to say no over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it until you break it, because it's at a place, it's like either you break it or it breaks you. And then you start all over again. Coming into the breath. And we can go through this, think it's over, think it's like, and you get to a place, it's like, boom, I broke it, bing, and then something comes up again. It's like there's these waves in existence. There's these moments, these pivotal moments where there's more, and we have to like move through it again. So it will bring up that stuff again. It will bring up those weak points again. And it's like, okay, there's a weak point. Everywhere you have not filled in or filled in enough is going to get tweaked. This is not a journey for the weak. If you're on this journey of becoming more of your highest expression, hats off to you. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of perseverance. For some, it may be a little easier than others, but all around, it is not easy to keep at it, to keep going. So hats off to you. I want to say only the strong kind of keep at it. But we also keep at it because, I mean, for me, I keep at it because there is no turning back. There is no other reason for being that is more important than breaking through to that highest level of expression. Yeah, deeper layers of the same story, exactly. And to the truth and purity of who we are and what we are, because that's how we change everything that we want to change. All the craziness that's out there, it's coming up because we all need to get to that pure state of truth, of purity within ourselves, of who we are and what life is about. Because life isn't about all that shit that's happening out there. That's all the stories, that's all the mayhem that's breaking out. Because guess what? The earth, all of existence is coming into that higher state of being. And if you cannot match that, you're getting thrown around. So deeper layers of the same story. I want to bring that up to explain that to people, because people have a tendency to think, and it's very common notion that it's like, well, you take care of it, it's done with. You're done with a certain level of it. And then you go into a deeper understanding of yourself, of existence, of everything. And then all of a sudden you look at the same story and it's like, oh, so that's what's really going on here. That's what it's really about. And it keeps going and going and going as long as it needs to come to that completion. So it's not just a one-time thing. Generally speaking, it's my experience. For some things are, but the really crucial pieces, the critical pieces are things that you're going to keep going over and over and over again. So it's about shifting how you approach all this and saying, no, first of all, I'm worth it. I'm doing this for me because this counts more than all this stupid shit. All this story is not, it's just a story. It's just a layer. Because my freedom of being, and so freedom of being, I'm talking about the highest level of freedom of being, not the human level freedom of being. I want to do whatever I want. I'm going to dive out. Okay, thanks for stopping by. See you next time you show up. And also because you start really becoming aware of why you're feeling shitty, why you're sick, why you're in whatever mess that you are. And everything else is not, it's like, well, it's a temporary thing, and you just keep going at it. Yeah. Deep breath in. So, okay, really experiencing this with a relative reg, I'm not sure what reg means, freedom and control, and seeing how it is relative to an old identity of mine that I do not want. So why is it showing up, I ask. Change of perspective. Yeah, but it's not just a change of perspective. It's there's another layer to it that needs to be addressed. So you addressed maybe the surface layer of it, and then there's a deeper reason for it being there, and you have to keep. So the change of perspective is about, it comes through in different ways of like, it's a one-time shot. It's a one-time deal. That tends to come from religious programming of, salvation. Christ will come back for the Christian religion, and that's it. And we all get to go to heaven. No, it's a work in progress. It's a step-by-step thing. So there's that piece that, and so each time it's like, so the change of perspective, it's not the same story that's coming up. It's coming from, you know it as that first story that you kind of came across, but then there's another level of it, of why it's showing up. So it could be, well, there's this programming here that in family lineage, but then you go deeper and it's like, oh, there's this piece that was happening at a deeper level, so that was impacting the family lineage. Then you go deeper, it's like, oh, there's this piece that, and part of the change of perspective. Oh, Ilaria was saying, okay, sorry, you're both showing up as little red circles there. So the change of perspectives, yeah. So the change of perspective is like, it's not, let me get done with this so I can get rid of it and be done with it and then have my life. This is your life. This is your life path. This is part of your life path, is to get to that deeper thing. And so that change of perspective, it's like, okay, let's bring it on. I mean, I'll promise you, you get to a point where you're just saying, okay, let's see what comes up. Sometimes it's like, oh God, this again. Okay, let's do this. Let's just do this and move through it. Because it's opening me up to this expansion, more expansion, this greater joy within me, this feeling of alignment with myself that is, and this brilliance that starts to show through when you move through something. It's like, okay, here we go again. I don't care. Well, let's do it, because I know it's going to feel good when I get to the other side of this. So that perspective. So instead of like, oh God, it's coming up again, where you start that, yeah, totally been there. And then it's like, okay, bring it on. And you just end up laughing at it. Yeah. So, when we can get there, it's good. And not always, but it's good to, so that change of perspective. Okay, we've been having a good long session here, so I'm going to bring it to a close now. So deep breath in, hold that, and then exhale out. Let yourself drop down through the core of the earth. Feel that connection to that core of the new earth. And if you can't have that sense of it for yourself now, feel it. Just know that it's there, and just affirm. It's like, right now, I don't have a sense of it, but I know it's there. It's just all this other stuff that's in the way that's making it so I'm not aware of it. But I know it's there. End of story. Yeah. Let's just kind of clear it up for everybody right here, right now. There we go. Okay. One last question from Ilaria. I have an interjection. If you say no without focusing and being from where the feelings come from, emotions, emoting. How can you move through it? Isn't it bypassing some stuff? Okay. Being with the emotions. Yeah. So sometimes that focusing on the emotions can be helpful, but then it gets to the place where your pain body starts to become a habit. And so that you say no, that you're not going to focus on that, and you focus on your light instead. So instead of focusing, it's like shifting that perspective, shifting to what you're focusing on, because your pain body will get into that. If you've been doing it long enough, and I know you have, working on in a certain way, then your pain body starts to take that over, and it sometimes it can work. So watch that. If you're focused on the emotion, and like I think you're describing that, putting your awareness on that so that it can shift out, it's like then you're kind of staying in that. So it's like, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm not going to put my awareness on that, because that is not me. And focus on your light. And if the only you get only the tip of your nose, for example, that feels like that point of light in your tip of your nose, and the rest of your body is trash, or dark, or however it might be, you might be experiencing it, then you stay at that one point. It's like no to everything else. I hope that makes sense, Ilaria. And understand the feelings that linger in the body parts. Sometimes you just have to bypass that. So sometimes it's helpful to understand the feelings, but a lot of times you just say, nope, we're not going there anymore, because that's all just part of the story. That's not me. It's not you at that higher state of being. So I hope that helps. So we have to get flexible with this, because if we keep working in a certain way, then we start to get habitual and pattern oriented and habitual, and so it's this automation, and then we're kind of like a robot, so it doesn't work. So we have to change it up sometimes. All right, thanks you guys. That was a bit of a long session. Hopefully that got through well in everything that was said and focused on here. Just going to end with one nice deep breath, and there's my value donation there on the screen on YouTube if you want to make a donation. Much appreciated. Instagram, it's on. Follow the link in the bio. So deep breath in, just that core of light that you are. Breathe into that. Even if you can't see it, can't feel it, sometimes you might have to open up your eyes, because as soon as you close your eyes, all you see is all the stuff you don't want to see. So just that core of light. And relax into that. All right. Big workout today, guys. Good job. And next week, again, we have still on a time difference from the States. So it's going to be a 5-hour time difference with the East Coast instead of the usual 6 for one more week. So thank you all for being here and stopping in and being a part of this cleaning up, being with ourselves, and all the unwinding that we need to allow to for that purity of who we are, ourselves, being ourselves comes through. So, all right, take care, everybody. We'll see you again next time, wherever and whenever in the ethers, and maybe next week on Coming into Being and wherever else we meet. So